I wanted to ask you about this, matchup of fives of centers, right?
Mhm.
Bam, like, he definitely had his struggles finishing in this series. I was, you're watching him get Marcus Smart and Derek White on him, and he's not able to punish like you would think. Do you see a chance? I agree with you, by the way. Like, how are they going to guard? Like, that's such, I don't know what they're going to do about Nikola. I mean, I guess you could figure, all those fails put Jimmy on Jamal, but that leaves you exposed to so many other areas. I mean, is there any prospect that Bam Adebayo can be effective in this series, much more effective than he was in the Boston series?
Like I think defensively it's just going to be tough, and again, that's going to boil down to how does Miami want to utilize him? Do you just want him to do his best against Jokic, or do you want to give someone else that matchup so he can blow up everything else? Offensively, and I was saying this to Steve on the pod for our finals preview. I feel like this series is tailor made for Bam. If he can knock down the shots, this is tailor made for Bam to average 22 to 25 points a game in this series, just by virtue of how Denver defends and pick and roll. Because again, if it is going to be drop coverage, I would keep an eye on the empty corner or empty side pick and rolls for Miami, because very quietly, the numbers didn't end up breaking out because players missed shots. The Lakers got a whole lot of good looks against Jokic in a drop when they emptied the side first. And the help one pass away was kind of inconsistent for Denver. I think that's something that Miami can poke at. And again, if you're putting two on the ball and Jokic is at the level, if Miami can slip that pass into Bam, that's going to be some real estate for him to deal with. So I think he's going to have the pockets to attack. I don't know how many switches he sees unless he's, Miami staggers in the way he's facing Denver's second unit. When they go to like Aaron Gordon and Jeff Green in the front court, you'll see more switching then. And then that comes back down to, hey, Bam, can you finish these? Can you finish these buckets? If you get someone smaller, can you punish those? But against Jokic, he should have favorable looks. It's going to be up for him to not be hesitant. It's going to be up for him he has to catch the ball. That's going to be number one. Catch the ball and hold on to it. But he has avenues to score in a big way. Like, even it's the regular season series, small sample, 2 games. He didn't shoot well, and he still averaged 20 and a half points a game in the regular season series and got to the free throw line a lot. So this can very much be the score series for Bam in a way. And again, you think about who he's faced so far in the playoffs. It's Brook Lopez in that drop, and then maybe some late switching depending on who's he's running pick and roll with. It's New York and Mitchell Robinson, and they're playing him closer to the level, but still a drop. Al Horford and Robert Williams, and seeing a lot of switches there. Like, this is going to be the most space I think that he's going to have to navigate postseason. So, like, if he's going to have a big score series and turn things around, this seems to be the one for him to do it.
Right. If you're Denver, what can you live with defensively? I mean, what are you willing to give up to hold Miami? Because to Marcus's point, I think if you're Denver, you can really, even if Miami gets to 105, 107, like, you're still good. I think if you're Denver, right? Because you're thinking, all right, well, it's going to be hard to hold us to under 110. That's going to be hard, you know. So even if we give up 107, 108, we still should be good. So what can they live with in terms of their defensive philosophy in this series? Can they live with Bam scoring 25, 26 a game if that means KCP stays in Caleb Martin's jock and doesn't let him get off, or Bruce Brown locks up Gabe Vincent, not locks up, but makes Gabe Vincent inefficient? What could they live with?
I think conceptually, I think they're going to want to force Miami to a bunch of jumpers. I think part of what Denver wants to do defensively, when they're at the level and they're rotating, like, they want to make sure you can't turn the corner up top. And then that first help defender is meeting whoever's rolling. They don't want to get shots at the rim.
Yeah.
So I think ultimately, if they can keep things contained to the perimeter, I think they're going to be fine with whatever happens from there. The issue is if Miami passes the ball and cuts well enough beyond their defense, and it turns into, okay, we're generating paint touches. Now the ball is slinging across the lot. And now these are fruitful catch and shoot jumpers versus we're late in the clock and we got to take these. So I think if they are able to, like, if Aaron Gordon is able to navigate well enough against Jimmy Butler to where he can't get comfortable and he stays down on the pump fake, they're fine with whatever Jimmy does from there. And I think with Bam, if they're meeting him on the catch and he's hesitating and he's taking those short jumpers after the defense recovers, he's fine with that. They don't want Miami just flowing into a whole bunch of space, because that's going to mean they're getting shots at the rim, either with those cuts, with drives, with short roll opportunities for Bam. or it's a pass, it's a kick to the perimeter. Now Denver's rotating all over the place, and it's still a jumper, but it's one they feel really good about.